What will happen on the last day of the world? In the book of Revelation, the final part of the Bible, God gives the Apostle John a prophetic vision of the end times. It reveals the battle between good and evil, the return of Jesus, and his ultimate victory. Jesus was born in Bethlehem to the Virgin Mary, fulfilling Old Testament prophecies, Matthew 1:18-25. Throughout his life, he preached about God's kingdom and performed many miracles. He was later crucified on the cross, sacrificing himself for the sins of humanity, fulfilling God's plan of salvation. 3 days later, he rose from the dead, proving his triumph over sin and death, Matthew 28:6. After his resurrection, Jesus ascended to heaven, promising to return one day, Acts 1:9-11. However, when he comes again, it will not be for salvation and grace, but for judgment and the final defeat of Satan and all evil. John describes Jesus' return in a breathtaking vision. Heaven opens, and Jesus appears as a mighty warrior riding a white horse. He is called Faithful and True, wearing many crowns with eyes like flames of fire. His robe is dipped in blood, and he is followed by the armies of heaven, also riding white horses. His name is the Word of God, and from his mouth comes a sharp sword to execute judgment. He rules with a rod of iron and bears the title King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Revelation 19:11-16. At his return, Jesus will defeat the Antichrist and the false prophet, casting them alive into the lake of fire. Satan will be bound for 1,000 years, preventing him from deceiving the nations. During this time, Jesus will reign over the earth with his faithful followers. Those who were martyred for their faith will be resurrected and rule with him. After the 1,000 years, Satan will be released to deceive the nations once more. He will gather an army, but fire from heaven will consume them. Satan will then be thrown into the lake of fire forever. Following this, the great white throne judgment will take place, where the dead will be judged according to their deeds. Revelation 21-15. Then, God will create a new heaven and a new earth, and he will dwell with his people in the new Jerusalem. In Jesus' second coming, there will be no more mercy. He will come as a judge, and the door of salvation will be closed. Those who rejected him will face eternal punishment. The question is, if Jesus were to return today, how would you feel?